Hi again. Welcome back to Shanka's channel, and thank you so much for all your support you've been providing me so far by watching the demonstration videos I uploaded on my channel. So today I'm going to talk about how you can set up EFS with some password authentication using Lambda and API kind of services. Before I begin, I would like to inform you. I just like to bring it to your notice that I have created a simple web page for my channel feedoncloud.shankars.com. You can anytime visit and check the YouTube featured videos. Here are some YouTube videos I have integrated through with my website, and this is the home page. It has all the information about this channel, and if you like to send any query, you can simply write your name, email, and your message. You can simply send message, click send message, and the same you can do here as well. If you have any interest in course that you would like to enroll in, we can try to gather the trainer for you and have it uh, ready live let session. Okay. All right. Coming back to the EFS setup, I have it here EC2 instance where I'll mount my EFS just to see the changes that I'll be doing through using my Lambda function and everything. So what I have done here, this is the EC2 instance and these are the commands. We'll first run it one by one. Before I run it, I may need EFS ID here. So we'll start from EFS creation first. So let's say create file system. We'll call it as demo EFS. I'll customize it a bit because I would like to disable few things which I don't want this to be enabled for this video. However, if it is required on your organization level, you can do it anytime. Okay, I'll disable everything and like hit next. So if you select customize like I did, you will get mount targets right here. Otherwise, you'll have to create it later once the EFS is created. So this is a good part. You can review these settings and click next. And this is the optional path, and it is no longer required, not required for this video. I'll say uh, it like this, and now I will click create. And if I get into this EFS, I'll copy this ID. My file system is created. Before I copy this ID, I'll do one more thing here. I'll create an access point. This will be required for my integration with Lambda. So I'll say demo EFS APN access point name, and I'll keep the root directory path as slash only, and we'll choose value like 1000 for my user ID and group ID, and the owner ID and the group ID as well. This is the default permission your root has, but your POSIX permission should be applied to the your root directory path as well. So I'll say 777 to give every other access. Create access point. So access point is also created. Now I'll just copy this ID and go back to my notepad where I have written instructions to mount EFS on EC2 machine. And now here I'll go ahead and run the steps one by one. And go back to second step. I'll create mount slash EFS. I'm sorry, EFS created. I'll go into this directory. I'll simply create one file sudo vi demo file.txt. You can name it anything, whatever you name it. You'll have to modify the lambda function according to it, which I'll show you how you can do that. Sudo vi lambda file. I'll insert something here. Welcome to Shankar's feed on cloud, and now leave some space and save it. Now I'll give the permission to this path. So my Lambda can also access and write it. And now if I go here and mount this like this, so just to verify, I'll say cat whatever I have here, welcome. Okay, so now I'll leave that there only. Now I'll move on to my next step, which is security group. Security, I only have one security group, so I'll simply choose that security group. uh, and what I wanted to show you is this NFS port. You should whitelist this. If you have only one security group attached everywhere, then just source, keep the source as security group ID, the same ID where you are trying to attach this role. And this should be enabled. Forget about 443 because it is used for my another instance. And 22 is just for logging to the instance, SSHN to that instance. Moving on to Lambda role. Create a Lambda role. I have already created it just to save time. This is not that's something. This is something that I'll waste time on for this video. So I have created it. I'll show you what the policies I have attached. I'll choose some three standard policies: Lambda basic execution role, Lambda VPC access execution role, secret manager read write, and EFS. That's the customized policy, inline policy. I have uh, simply created it here. You can write it. It's a very short one. You can write it, pause the video here, and write it like this only, or you can get it from internet. You can uh, get it on any of the articles that we have available for the EFS Lambda role setup. Not for Lambda role, but EFS setup. Okay. Moving on to functions, I'll now show you why we attached so much policies to the IAM role, and I'll create one lambda function for EFS. I'll choose my runtime as let's say Python because I have my Python code written already, and I'll use the existing role that I have created. It has some all the policies, required policies attached. It is creating a function. It has been created. Now I'll go back to configuration. So I'll first start with general configuration. I'll say, you know what, the execution time should be more than this because it if my code runs, then it will run at least for 2 minutes so that we can have the output in the end. Otherwise it will give you a timeout error every time, run timeout. And now I'll move to another setting that is nothing but the VPC. In the VPC I'll choose that VPC, and that's where I uh, chose that VPC. One thing I think I forgot to tell you, when you create this role, the service that you would choose is the Lambda function. Okay, make sure you choose the Lambda function as a service when creating this role, and then attach these permissions to your role. So that's the reason I have allowed Lambda to, have access to everything VPC and these and then EFS. Okay, now I have created this. You can customize according to your requirements. So this is the only security group I have. See, 2404, and that's the reason I have allowed Lambda to, uh, have integrated with VPC settings as well. Now I'll go back. I'll go all the way to down, and the second last option, file system. This is a very important part, and let's wait for this function to get completed. Meanwhile, it is getting completed. I'll move on to next tab called secrets, and this secret is nothing but something we will be using in our Python code, which I'll now uh, show you once the function is updated. So demo secret is the secret name that I have given. I have stored all the I have stored my password there. See, like this, it is password and whatever value you have. Make sure you choose this other type of secret if you are simply passing this values password, and then whatever password you have, it should be secure enough. Okay, so if you hit in the end, if you hit next, and then it will it will ask you to set up rotation if you would like to rotate it after some time. On an organization level you do so. However, for this demo I'll keep it like this. So I have named it like demo secret. To have this interaction with Lambda, endpoint should be created for this secret manager. So I have created an endpoint here. Simply you create endpoint, name it, keep that box checked, AWS services, and search for secret manager. Check this box and check this box and choose the uh, VPC where it resides in, and you check these subnets and security group, and then click create endpoint. So once your endpoint gets created, your Lambda will be able to execute the things. So my Lambda function is being updated here. Meanwhile, we can come here and paste our code here. I'll go to my notepad, go back to this. I'll copy this from here and paste it on the code section. Okay. So I'll walk you through what it is doing. Our Lambda function also has been updated, but just to be clear here, so the EFS path is this, and the EFS file it will be modifying is the file path demo file.txt, which we have created and mounted it on our EFS, and then mounted it on our EC2 machine. That EFS is already mounted. That path is already mounted, right? So demo secret is a secret name that we have created. I have shown you how you can create it. So it is the same name I have given. Password is the key and the value within demo secret uh, ID within that secret manager we have created. So what it'll do it will try to authenticate it, and it will try to modify it. It will check the current content within the file, and it will create a new line. Backslash n is for new line, and it will write good luck in the end. And once it is done, it will say file updated successfully, and then we can simply go back to our EC2 machine and simply verify it whether it has been modified or not. Currently it only has welcome to Shankar's feet on cloud, and everything is being authenticated using the password, that the secret manager. If I remove it, it will not work. So I will deploy these changes. Okay, and I have deployed, and now come to API. I'll You can choose HTTP API or REST API. For this video, I'll choose REST API. I'll name it like demo REST API. Let me scroll up. New API you would select and then name and create API. I'll create a resource for my satisfaction. I'll call it like files. If you don't do it, it will not have any impact in the end of the URL that you would be seeing here in the API URL. You'll just have to put slash. If you have any other thing, you'll have to put slash files. So I'll create it, and within this I'll create two methods. One is to get that message and that content of the file, and I'll say create method. It is created, and I'll go back to files and again create a new method called post. I'll choose the same lambda function, create method, and I'll deploy these methods one by one, the APIs. It is asking me to choose the stage. I'll say dev for now. You can choose anything based on your organization setup. I'll choose this in dev as well. Now here I have one invoke URL. If I try to open this, it says missing authentication token because there is something we are missing here, like files. I told you right that slash files is the resource within which we have our methods. Now if I click this, it says file not found error, and the reason being, uh, just a second. Let's see if we test it here. What it says, demo event. We can troubleshoot it right here on the call itself, so that you also get the idea what is wrong with it. So it says file not found, and the reason is the APN that we have set up doesn't have that permission. So what I'll do is I'll say delete and try to recreate it, recreate the APN. Name EFS for APN. I'll like this. I'll say thousand, 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 777. Create access point, and now again on Lambda function, I'll go back to file system and add file system here. Again, mnt EFS, click save. It's trying to update the function, and now let's test it. It still says file not found, so let's verify in the system here. Oh, just a second. I'll say duplicate session, cd mnt. Oh, somehow file has been removed, so I'll create again. Ideally, it should not be like this. So, by the way, just to be on safer side, what you can do is when you perform these steps, you can like first mount it and then create a file. That would be better. So, I'll try to do this again. Come to Shankar's feet on cloud, and here, okay, now I'll do cat. I have this. Now, if I go here and test it, maybe we may have to again recreate APN and try to do this, but let's see. It says permission denied. That's the reason I have said you may have to change the sequence here. I'll change the sequence in the end. This is the permission. Now again you'll have to give the permission, and if I try it again, here we go. So it says file updated successfully. The status code is this, and the same we check on the same URL of the API gateway. If I refresh it, it will also say the same. And now if I go to my EC2 instance here and try to verify it, now what it says, cat demo.txt. See, it says good luck in the end. So whatever I write here in my Lambda function, I have written good luck here, right? Whatever I write here, suppose I'll write, I'll say good luck, and then it is already written now. So good luck is already there. So after good luck, if I write something, thanks for watching this video where we set up EFS with pass auth using Lambda and API Gateway. So if I have changed it right now, I'll have to deploy it. So if I deploy it and refresh this URL, let's see what a response it gives. So it gives the same response, right? Now if I go here again and try to check the content, see it says thanks for watching this video where we set up the EFS with pass authentication using Lambda and API Gateway. So that's the beauty of Lambda function that gets interacted to EFS using some password that we have stored in the secret manager, and use the API gateway to have the response. So whatever I if I refresh this, right, and if I check this, it has the same thing. So The more I refresh the URL, the more it will give like this. Okay, so that's the beauty. And that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and you learned something extra here. And I request you all to please subscribe. I really, I am being honest here. It doesn't matter for me you to subscribe it actually, but the matters is you share it and have more people, uh, you know, uh, aware of the setup, how you can do and get the hands on, and you can have it on your resume that you have actually done it. Thank you so much for watching. Wish you good luck in your own environment when you do this. Hopefully, you get the same message. Bye bye.